Hello and welcome to a video that hopefully will make you ready to follow along in next week's trial. Next week, we will be covering the trial of Carly Madison Gregg. This young woman, who were 14 at the time, will be tried as an adult for the unaliving of her mom and the attempted unaliving of her stepdad. This is a case out of Brandon, Mississippi, where Carly allegedly walked in to a room where her mom was and then put three holes in her face. Her mom was a high school teacher, apparently well liked high school teacher, even though we have stories from Carly's friends that she spoke ill about her, but it was more seen like typical teenage stuff that there was something there, but nothing anyone really paid attention to. But we like the weirder kind of cases because it's more interesting to watch. And this is kind of a weird case because after she did it, she calls up her friend, makes her come over, asks if she ever seen a unalive person, shows her mom. She also texts her stepdad and say, "When are you coming home?" And when he enters the house, she puts one in his shoulder. He get the pew pew out of the hand, and she runs away, and I apprehended right after. It's also kind of a tragic history because of the severity of the crimes, she will be tried as an adult. She was offered a 40-year plea deal, which she turned down, so she can. I believe the judge counted it up to 96 years is the maximum. The last hearing, though, I kind of got an impression because she will be tried as an adult, but apparently sentencing will be in the juvie or could be in juvie court. So I'm a little sketch. I don't know that much about American law, but he talked about the verdict will come from grown-up court, but it could go back to juvie court. There was some discussion about that in the last hearing, so that's going to be interesting to see. But if she's found guilty, it is right now, as we know what she could get, a life sentence for this young woman after she turned down the 40-year plea. The defense team has been focusing a lot about her mental health problems. She might have some depression, she might have some personality disorder, and she had just switched medicine before this happened. We also know after she arrived at prison, they had trouble figuring out what kind of medicine she was having and the doses because they switched it up at least twice quite soon after she were arrested. So that's probably going to be their main line. We know that they have an insanity defense, sorry, but at the same time they have missed almost every deadline for the defense team. It's been really bad what we have seen from them. So, do they have experts to testify that Carly has these mental problems that made her do it? That's going to be very interesting to figure out. We know the state have had psychologists talking to her, but the defense don't really have anyone else. We just saw a hearing last week where defense can't bring anything in from these experts that the state didn't already have. So it doesn't seem like they have anything other than what the state already found out was wrong with her. That's so if they're going for insanity, I would be worried. They also tried to suppress the fact that she was having a drug screening when she arrived at juvie, which is protocol at juvenile detention centers, and it showed she had traces of marijuana in her test. We can all agree, disagree, go on and on about the good old MJ. Does it make you this or that? That's not a debate I want to take. That's has nothing to do with how I see it or how you see it. But they wanted it kept out because intoxication that leads to something is a you problem because you did it. You chose to be intoxicated. So that would work against her defense, but it was allowed in, but not to the level that the state wanted it in. The judge in this case seems hard, very hard, but to my opinion, he also seems fair. Balls and strikes, he calls them both ways. It's not like some cases we see where they are overly protective of the prosecution. So I think it'll be a good case, not too much shenanigans going on. The trial probably starts Tuesday, maybe starts Monday. It depends on how fast they can see the jury. We'll be there covering it as we always do. And it's going to be interesting. It's a weird case when it's a 14-year-old who is the defendant. She has turned 15, but still kind of weird. But I hope you'll watch along with us. Please participate when we are live in the chat. It makes it more interesting to watch cases, and we have a fun little community. So come join us. Even though we cover really bad stuff, we're good people. See you next week.